There's something that I'm trying to understand.
That you are what?
I'm sorry?
There is something you are exploring?
Yes.
All right.
You said a few minutes ago that we cannot, that whenever we experience those that we perceive outside of ourselves, in other words, for example, my family, my children,
The
my
people in the
friends,
audience.
the people in the audience, right?
Yes.
That we cannot know anything about them other than our idea of them. Is this correct?
Other than what you choose to match in terms of the vibrations they are sending to you. If you choose to match the vibrations in a way that matches what they are sending, you can know what they are sending about themselves. Nevertheless, it is still, in a sense, your interpretation as it makes sense for what you need to know of them.
Because, in the ancient Hindu scripture, it talks about the non-difference
Yes.
within reality.
Yes.
And I'm wondering how the concept of individuality
Yes.
coexists with this idea of we are all that
Do
is.
you remember many times we have discussed the concept of this and that as opposed to this or that?
Yes.
And the second law is that the one is the all and the all are the one? Yes?
Yes.
Well, individuality is a perspective, a focus of the all that is, as if it is a single individual perspective. At the same time, it relates to the idea of the all that is because it is in relation to everything else that it is not. Does that make sense? It's a perspective. It's a focus of perspective or a broadening of perspective. That's all it is. It's either an expansion of perspective into the all that is or varying degrees of it, or it's a focus of perspective into individual point of view. But it's all made of the same being. Does that make sense to you?
I think so. In other words, as we expand our awareness,
Yes.
does that enable us then to perceive more clearly the way others perceive themselves rather than only as we perceive them? Can we know
Yes.
what others...
You gain more perspective of the we. Yes. That we perspectives becomes your individual perspective. This is why the perspective of the oversoul that has all of the different lives, the incarnations going on simultaneously, actually perceives itself as all those lives simultaneously. Its perspective is of all those lives. Its perspective is the we perspective all at once. But that is its individual point of view. Make sense?
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Thank you. Now you may proceed with your normal program.
Am I normal?
Ideally, you are natural instead.
Thank you. My name is Bridget.
Oh, all right. Very good. And how synchronous of you.
I think so, a little bit. So I have a few questions. I've been really enjoying doing more with less.
Oh, all right.
And as a part of that, I have a question about action because
Yes.
I'm finding myself wanting to take less physical action because I'm taking internal action of awareness.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
How does it, can you explain a little bit more on that?
As long as you allow yourself to have a physical experience, it requires physical action to ground the internal idea, to complete the circuit, to bring the energy through into physical reality. Now, we're not saying that every single thing requires that exactly in that way, because even meditation, in a sense, is taking an action to a degree. But the idea is that when you are inspired to actually do something that is representative of a physical act, if you just allow it to only be internalized, you never complete the circuit into physical reality. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
All right.
Thank you.
And?
And I've been finding a lot of breaks in continuity, such as...
Congratulations.
Yes, it's very exciting.
It is.
And I was washing dishes, and one sponge turned into two sponges
Oh,
today,
right.
which was kind of funny.
Does that mean you can wash twice the dishes in the same amount of time?
I think so.
All right.
Less time.
All right.
Right. So I have a question. what is the percentage of humans incarnate that have been detained, abducted? No, comprendo? No? What?
Hai wakarimasu. Un momento, por favor. Approximately, to varying degrees, between 27 and 37% of those, what you would call presently incarnate.
And are those in specific areas of Earth, or are they just
All
spread
over.
out? Okay, so there's no certain area that more population, a heavier population.
From time to time, yes. But we have given you an average.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. And then I've been finding, for me and my certain people in my family and other friends, that we've started to get physical kind of like dots under our eyes
Yes,
that have been appearing.
yes.
Can you share what the meaning of that would be? Or if there's
Not
any...
my job.
Okay.
Someone else will give you that information.
Okay. Well, can you explain, let's see, who that would be?
Not my job.
Okay, gotcha.
Someone else will give you that information.
Okay.
Comprende?
Comprende. Can you tell us anything more about the fifth hybrid civilization at this time?
That information is not available through this terminal at this moment.
Perfect. And are there any specific messages from my hybrid children at this time that would like to come through your terminal?
One moment. Are you going somewhere in the southwestern area of your United States?
I would like to. I haven't planned it, but
Why would you like to and have not gone?
because I'm
'Cause you're what?
going to.
Watch out. You know you're about to step into a trap.
It is my intention, so therefore it is my action to visit.
Yet you have not taken the action.
No.
Therefore you have not acted.
Right. Okay.
Because
I've been in a different country,
so
so I'm gonna go there now.
right now,
No, because I'm here, but I'm there because it's all.
why do you wish to go to that area? Why does it attract you?
I just feel a vibratory connection.
Any specific area?
Santa Fe and Sedona.
All right. So you will take action to move in that direction soon without any particular expectation that you actually need to wind up there, yes?
Of course.
Thank you. Then that's the message from a hybrid child.
Hey.
No, that's not his name.
Can you give me?
No. Go to those areas and you will get the information you need because you will be in a vibration where it will be easier for you to communicate.
Thank you for confirming the guidance that I've already.
We thank you for
receiving.
allowing us to reflect to you what you already knew.
Thank you very much.
Aloha, Bashar.
And you good day.
What a treat to be here with you.
It is our treat, as well as always, to interact with each and every one of you.
Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to ask, but here's what's present for me.
Sometimes that is best.
Yeah. So since I was with you last, what has become more present in my life is the connection to the Pleiades.
Yes.
As
Is
well
that a
as-
question?
No, it's not.
All right. Why did your energy go up at the end? Pleiades?
Because I was trying to, in this moment, remember how to pronounce it.
Oh, all right. You did very well.
Thank you. As well as Lemuria.
All right.
And so I thought that they were past lives, but as I've been listening to your transmissions, And as you've talked about parallel realities, that really resonates for me.
Yes, you know that what you call past lives exist simultaneously.
Right.
The past is just an illusion.
So then I guess my question is...
Yes. You guess your question is?
So my question is...
Thank you.
Do I have a connection with Lemuria and the Pleiades, or am I actually...
Do I need to use an often used term in the English language?
Yes, please.
Duh. Why would you be asking about it if you didn't?
Yeah.
Yes? The science of the obvious.
Thank you.
You have a connection. That's why you're asking. Otherwise, you'd be asking about something else.
Is the connection the same as as being a part of that race?
It can be. It doesn't have to be, but it can be. And in your case, yes, there are lives there.
Okay. And the other thing that's present for me is the first time that I experienced the holotrope. The only time I did.
Holotrope.
Holotrope, thank you. It wasn't here with you, but with a friend.
Yes.
And I saw a T-Rex, his eyes staring back at me saying,
All right.
I see you over and over again.
All right.
And is there anything you could share with me about that?
You're allowing yourself the understanding that all times exist now. And thus then you can perceive along the spectrum of space and time to any era and any age you wish if you remain in that vibration. It really is all here and now, all of it. Yes?
Yes.
Are you in any way, shape, or form attracted to the middle of May?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. What an enigmatic response. You could say yes or no.
No.
Oh, all right. Did you know, as we have discussed many times, that what has recently passed for you on your calendar, being that which you call All Hallows Eve,
Yes.
and November 1st and November 2nd, in that sense, are the 3 days that span the day before, the day of, and the day after the destruction of Atlantis? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
It is the idea of the memory, recollection of that idea, now transfigured into a different kind of holy day. However, did you also know that not that long ago in your history, there was also a holy day, May 13th. Do you know what that holy day used to be called in your culture?
I do not.
Lemuria. Also of the memory of the destruction of that civilization, although that has now truly become lost in most of your annals of chronology. But the idea is that instinctively and intuitively, the Lemurian holy day of May 13th was transferred to the idea of your All Hallows Eve to combine the two for what you would call religious and political purposes. So now, in a sense, they are almost celebrated together energetically.
Well, that makes sense to me why October 31st is always, resonates very
Yes.
loudly for me.
And you have Atlantean lives as well, as many of you do. In a sense, in many ways, not that it excludes other parts of the world, but in many ways as a collective, there are certain themes that are being explored in what you call your America that are very similar to themes that were explored in Atlantean times, and you are now exploring them again with, let's assume, a different outcome than destruction. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Why? Because you're now crossing that bridge. Yes?
Yes.
And you're leaving old realities behind that no longer serve you. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Because you know that you are those realities, and that the expansion of consciousness is actually realizing that you are the reality that you used to think you existed in. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Greetings.
I know you. Good day.
Good day. I've driven quite a ways to find a crystal skull that had been...
Speak up, speak up, speak up.
I'll speak closer. It's my sexy Bashar voice.
Oh, all right.
All right. So I drove quite a ways to find a labradorite skull that had been talking to me in my dreams for the past several weeks.
Quite a ways. Define quite a ways.
Over 600 miles,
600 miles?
all things being relative.
We are light years away.
Yes. And right here at the same time.
Exactly.
Blessings.
Which is how we travel.
So we are here. I brought my new friend with me.
Oh, all right.
Care to offer additional insight on my skull, which I'll
An
I'll hold up.
appropriate word. Insight. The idea is that many of the so-called crystal skulls on your planet are literally repositories of knowledge. They have certain kinds of crystalline patterns embodied within them that allow them to be downloaded with knowledge and to download knowledge back into you. It is no accident that they are shaped in the way they are shaped according to the human skull, because in the human skull, there is actually a shape, an antenna, a pattern that is built for receiving information from higher frequencies. So the idea is that if you can flash the information into the skull for storage, then other people can come along and use the same skull by identifying with it, by harmonizing with it in frequency, and receive the download flash from the skull of the information you may have stored there. Does that help?
Yes.
All right. Does that answer your question sufficiently? Yes, no, maybe?
No.
Oh, all right. What other direction and more specificity would you like to take this in?
Specifically, this skull.
Yes.
So in general...
You mean specifically for you?
Correct. So understanding generally the purpose of skulls
Yes.
and transmitting information.
All right. Well, may I ask you a question?
Yes, you may.
Upon receiving the skull, have you in any way, shape, or form found yourself more inclined to act in the direction of your excitement than you were before?
Equally, I would say more intense, not necessarily more inclined, but more intense.
More intense translates as what?
A dynamic range, a dynamic sphere is what's coming through.
A broader perspective?
Sure.
Are you sure?
More like an upgrade in octane.
All right. Then it is the permission slip that you felt you needed with your current belief system to allow you to give yourself permission to be more of yourself.
Woo!
Does that help you?
I like that.
All right.
All right.
Bashar, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
My
To you,
name-
good day.
Good day to you. My name is Ray G, and I'm asking for your guidance and help with one thing.
One thing.
One thing on my heart this whole weekend was to be able to sustain this openness, this love, this connection. There's experiences in my life where things seem to shift and I go into extreme darkness.
Yes.
My lover becomes my enemy.
Oh, how exciting.
Yes, it is exciting, I agree. And I feel
That was your answer. Pay attention. The way you, to use your word, sustain, and remember, the word itself, hearkening back to the meaning, the word itself, sustain, implies difficulty in doing so.
Yes.
You follow?
Yes.
Because if you're actually always staying in the vibration you prefer, you do not need to sustain anything. It just is where you want to be all the time. No matter what's happening, that's where you want to be all the time.
Yes.
Therefore, by looking at these changes as exciting, as opportunities to learn something more about yourself, then you will be overwhelmed with curiosity and excitement, so overwhelmed with curiosity and excitement no matter what happens in your life, that you will only define it in a positive way, and by only defining it in a positive way, you'll be so excited that your thoughts will never even go to the idea of how do I sustain this, because you will be sustaining it. Just by being so excited about everything that happens, no matter what it is. When in our civilization, someone says, things didn't go as I expected, we say, congratulations. Now you know you're on the right path. So if you treat the things that happen in your life in that way and don't define them in a negative way using such words as enemy and sustain, then you will find that you don't even have to think about it. The energy will just always be there, because you will always be having a relationship with whatever's going on that's always defined as positive, because you know that whatever happens in your life must be happening for a positive reason, because there is no other choice for you.
Yes, yes.
Do you follow?
Thank you.
Is this helping?
Yes, it is.
Why, thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to continue with the questions. Is that all right, Bashar?
A few more in the
Okay.
timing window that exists.
Okay, a few more. We have this
Oh,
person.
one moment.
Okay, we don't want to neglect anyone. That's
Someone is expressing the idea that they have a neglected feeling.
okay. I do have a bit of a
Not
line.
that it is perfect as it is.
I have a line, but I'm going to let you go first because we don't want any neglect to happen here. Here you
Now,
go.
may I ask, how could that have been more positively expressed?
This side is eager and anxious to get some questions.
Eager. Anxiety is a negative energy. Excited. We are excited to communicate. Not we are feeling neglected, we are anxious. Because then that's the vibratory state you create. Make sense? Thank you.
Howdy, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Thank you. I am wondering how the beings on your planet follow your bliss and your excitement. What brings you joy? And if you have music festivals like this on your planet or planets.
We sometimes do, although they are not exactly like yours, but they are all completely, absolutely spontaneously created. There is no planning, because everyone is following their absolute bliss at every moment. We simply know that at some time, if a number of people wish to play together, they will simply automatically find each other exactly when and where they need to. Everything in our world is simply automatically synchronous because we have allowed the creation of unity to come from the absolute validation of every individual being themselves. That's how it works in our world. That's how it can work in yours.
What kind of music do y'all listen to?
We listen to the music that we make. It is, in some cases, similar to certain kinds of refrains that you would call Tibetan. It is, in many cases, a three-part harmony, more often than not. We have very simple instruments, nothing complicated, mostly percussion and string. There are a few wind instruments, but again, kept very simple. There are other kinds of sounds that are made also through the manipulation of energies and other substances you do not have on your planet.
Are there any simple mantras that y'all use that you would like to share for our mental upliftment?
All our permission slips, any tool, any technique, any ritual is a permission slip that you give yourself to give yourself permission to be more of who you are. Thus then, recognize that our mantra simply is, be true to yourself. Act on your excitement with integrity, without expectation. But remember that we are telepathic in our reality. So in that sense, we do not have linguistic mantras as you do on your planet. We simply have states of being, resonances that are representative of certain ideas, certain expressions, certain realities, bubble realities that different people can participate in at different times depending upon how they shift their frequency. The best mantra is the one that you feel works for you. Because your own imagination is keyed to you, and whatever you are attracted to works best for you. All right? There will be a brief amount of time remaining for this transmission.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Hi. So it's fabulous to hear the truth that we're actually all simply here to be ourselves.
Yes.
It just breaks everything down, and so...
Yes, you are all different ways that creation has of experiencing itself.
Right.
So the idea of your purpose and your mission is really just to be who you are as best as you can be, and that's the only real mission you all have. How you do it is simply your own personal expression of the mission, but you all have the same purpose. You all have the same mission to be who you actually are.
Yes. So here's what I'm wondering, because simultaneously it seems that we are in a process of rebirthing
Yes.
ourselves into ourselves.
Yes.
And so it means that people are all simultaneously at different points in time on different wavelengths.
Yes.
Having to refine, purge,
Yes.
clear,
Yes.
purify,
Yes.
to reach that place
Yes.
in the now.
But there are also groups that are moving generally
Yes.
together at the same time, even
Yes.
though there may be differences within the individuals
Yes.
within the group.
Yes. So my question, the root of my question is, how can we really support and more compassionately help one another through the process?
By being the perfect example yourself and giving everyone an opportunity to see that you can live your life by simply acting on your highest joy every moment, and that the universe will actually support you in that behavior. Thus, by being a living example, you give everyone the best opportunity to see that it can work for them too, if they so choose. But you have to allow them to unconditionally choose whatever they wish, even if it's not that.
And what if someone's in trauma, and what if that person has regressed and isn't any longer present now, and is in a state of consciousness that's a memory, something from the past, a trigger?
Then again, all you can do is assure them with unconditional love that there is always a way out of the darkness if they will simply look for the light within themselves. This is the meaning of what you call your yin-yang symbol, where you have a dark side and a light side, but you will notice that within the darkness there is a little bit of light, and within the light there is a little bit of darkness. Both sides are always accessible from either side if you simply look within. And the idea, again, is that if you provide the atmosphere of acceptance, allowance, and unconditional love, and simply let that person choose what it is they believe is best for them, even if it is a negative choice, then you are still allowing them the opportunity to decide what is best for them. Please remember, you are all eternal spirits. You are all eternal spirits. If you exist now in some form, you always will. You don't need to be in a hurry to change everyone in this reality. Some people come into a reality specifically to prove they cannot change. Thus, by going to someone who says, oh, I can help you change, and then them refusing to change, they get to prove their point, so you've actually still served them anyway. So it's all about how you define it, but at the same time, give them the opportunity to know there's another choice, but you have to allow them to not see that that choice exists. Otherwise, you're not being unconditionally loving in the way that you are saying they also could be. Make sense? Thank you. We will extend to each and every one of you once again our deepest appreciation and our unconditional love at the creation of this link, this bridge between our respective civilizations. And we bid you all an exciting and creative and loving and synchronous, spontaneous and paradoxical good day.